Who really was Thoth the Atlantean? First off, before we go deep down the rabbit hole, you need to know that Thoth went by many other names depending on the part of the world, what time, and what culture you were in. The Greeks called him Hermes Trismegistus. We'll talk more about that name later. The Romans referred to him as Mercury. In South American cultures such as the Mayans, he was known as Quetzalcoatl, and in the Old Testament Bible, he was known as Enoch, but for the majority of this video, I will refer to him as Thoth. How was it that Thoth was so well known in every major culture from all around the world, spanning over thousands of generations? Thoth had conquered death. He could sustain his body indefinitely. He was a scientist and geneticist who played a significant role in the creation of humankind. He had mastered the technology of incarnating his consciousness into new avatars. Earlier, I mentioned Thoth was known as Hermes Trismegistus, which in Greek translates to the thrice great, or 3 times great. I have also seen it translated into the thrice born, or 3 times born. Does this mean actually born out of a womb 3 times, or is it possible he had incarnated more than once and understood how to incarnate without losing his memory? We will talk more about this later. Thoth was a master of alchemy, energy, and frequency, an out-of-body traveler, and consciousness coach for humanity, you might say. Thoth ruled the ancient Egyptian race for 16,000 years, from 50,000 BC to 36,000 BC, and he raised his followers to a very high level of consciousness. Thoth was often depicted in ancient Egyptian culture with the head of a bird. He erected the Great Pyramid of Giza shortly before he left, and appointed guards to keep his secrets. Later on, the descendants of these guards became the pyramid priests. Thoth is often depicted holding a winged staff with 2 snakes coiled around it. This is known as the caduceus, aka the rod of Hermes. The 2 snakes are said to be symbolic for the double helix DNA strand, and also a representation of the Kundalini energy said to be released when activating all 7 energy chakras in the human body. See my other video about the 7 human energy centers. Thoth was the builder of the Egyptian pyramids at Giza, and most likely heavily involved with the construction of many megalithic sites across the globe, as well as involved in launching entire civilizations altogether, including the lost city of Atlantis and ancient Egypt. A direct descendant of the royal Anunnaki bloodline, and said to be the author of over 30,000 books, many of which were probably lost, stolen, and destroyed over the years. Of these books, the famous Emerald Tablets of Thoth have been recently recovered and translated by Doriel of the Brotherhood of the White Temple. According to Doriel, as to the material of the Emerald Tablets, they are imperishable, resistant to all elements and substance. In effect, the atomic and cellular structure is fixed, no change ever taking place. In this respect, they violate the material law of ionization. Upon them are engraved characters in the ancient Atlantean language, characters which respond to attuned thought waves, releasing the associated mental vibration in the mind of the reader. The tablets are fastened together with hoops of golden-colored alloy, suspended from a rod of the same material. So much for the material appearance. The wisdom contained therein is the foundation of the ancient mysteries, and for the ones who read it with open eyes and mind, his wisdom shall be increased 100-fold. Read, believe or not, but read, and the vibration found therein will awaken a response in your soul. In the very first emerald tablet, Thoth introduces himself and gives us some basic instructions. I quote, "I, Thoth, the Atlantean, master of mysteries, keeper of records, mighty king, magician, living from generation to generation, being about to pass into the halls of Amente, set down for the guidance of those that are to come after these records of the mighty wisdom of great Atlantis. In the city of Kior, on the island of Undal, in a time far past, I began this incarnation. Not as the little men of the present age did the mighty ones of Atlantis live and die, but rather from aeon to aeon did they renew their life in the halls of Amente, where the river of life flows eternally onward. 100 times 10 I have descended the dark way that led into the light, and many times have I ascended from the darkness into the light, my strength and power renewed. Betray not my secrets to the men of the north, or the men of the south, lest my curse fall upon ye. Remember and heed my words, for surely will I return again, and require of thee that which ye guard. I, even from beyond time and from beyond death, will I return, rewarding or punishing as ye have required your trust." This is where certain religions get these ideas about a savior returning to earth. They all trace back to these emerald tablets. I highly doubt the return, aka another incarnation of Thoth, would be as theatrical of a guy in a white robe and sandals descending from the clouds as depicted by many dogmatic belief systems. For all we know, Thoth is already here, incarnated into his next avatar. Thoth understood science, mathematics, and high-level quantum physics. If you read through his tablets, he goes on to explain in further detail the secrets of time, vibration, space, energy, polarity, magnetism, stars, planets, magic, consciousness, the battle between light and dark, as well as the secrets of life and death. He instructs on how to navigate through our multi-dimensional universe. In tablet number 13, Thoth actually gives us very specific instructions and meditation techniques for how to incarnate into your next body without losing your memory from past lives. Imagine how different your life would be if you didn't have to keep starting over every time with a blank hard drive. I quote from the 13th tablet, "Hear ye, O man, and list to my voice. List to the wisdom that gives thee of death. When at the end of thy work is appointed, thou may desire to pass from this life, pass to the plane where the sons of the morning live, and have being as child of light. Pass without pain and pass without sorrow into the plane where is eternal light. First, lie at rest with thine head to the eastward. Fold thou thy hands at the source of thy life. Place thou thy consciousness in the life seat. Whirl it and divide to the north and to the south. Send thou the one out towards the northward. Send thou the other out to the south. Relax thou their hold upon thy being. Forth from thy form will thy silver spark fly, upward and onward to the sun of the morning, blending with light, at one with its source. There it shall flame till desire shall be created. Then shall return to a place in a form. Know ye, O men, that thus pass the great souls, changing at will from life unto life. Thus ever passes the avatar, willing his death as he wills his own life. List ye, O man, drink of my wisdom. Learn ye the secret that is master of time. Learn ye how those ye call master are able to remember the lives of the past. Great is the secret, yet easy to master, giving to thee the mastery of time. When upon thee death fast approaches, fear not, but know ye are the master of death. Relax thy body, resist not with tension. Place in thy heart the flame of your soul. Swiftly, then sweep it to the seat of the triangle. Hold for a moment, then move to the goal. This, thy goal, is the place between thine eyebrows, the place where the memory of life must hold sway. Hold thou thy flame here in thy brain seat until the fingers of death grasp thy soul. Then, as thou pass through the state of transition, surely the memories of life shall pass too. Then shalt the past be as one with the present. Then shall the memory of all be retained. Free shalt thou be from all retrogression. These things of the past shall live in today. Are you starting to see why this information is kept hidden? Why it's not taught in public school? Why it's not included in the American translation of the Bible? And why it's not being reported on by mainstream news? Imagine a planet of 7 billion well-informed, well-educated beings that were capable of critical thinking, whom had no fear of death. Imagine a population of 7 billion beings not only capable of critical thinking, but capable of remembering past lives. No government, no politician or religious leader would be able to use fear as a means of mind control, and no television propaganda would be able to manipulate or sway their opinion. So at this point in time, and based off the way the world is right now, I think it's pretty safe to say that Thoth is one of the most important teachers mankind has ever had. I highly recommend that you order your own copy of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, or download the audiobook for free on the internet. Everyone, have a wonderful day.